Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dee Dee. We are the hilarious outcome of opposing brains sharing a mutual desire to share knowledge and positive thinking about hemp and cannabis.
We are here to tear down the walls built by Big Pharma and other big companies that seek to keep the human race in fear and divided.
We are here to shatter the myths about hemp and cannabis and change the stigma of this amazing plant. Welcome to Hemp and Happiness with the Hemp Queen
And Emperor.
podcast. Join us as we venture into this misunderstood and the unknown. Hey, happy hempsters. Welcome back to the show. So happy to have you guys listening to us as we share our knowledge and learn new things ourselves, which is pretty cool about this podcast. I love that part. I love to read. I love to research. I love to find answers to questions that I don't even know the answers to. So it makes it kind of fun. This episode is, it kind of floors me that we're even having this episode or even have to have this episode, but it is all about first responders and the military and what is acceptable and what is not as far as hemp and cannabis goes. And there's is some insights into this that I don't think the general public is actually aware of, to be honest. I mean, Matt, you've got a lot of friends in the police force and in as firefighters. I know one of them that I've met who I absolutely adore that comes in to see us. But what's your take? Do you want to? Should we go with our locals first and then talk about military?
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Well, I guess when you define servicemen and servicewomen,
Yeah.
that historically refers to Department of Defense, right?
Mhm.
But I think that that's a bit of a misnomer because to me, servicemen and servicewomen are non-civilian workers
Correct.
working for the betterment and the protection of us
Our
as
country.
individuals, as a country, as a society, as a community, inward and outward. And I cannot think of a collective group that will benefit more
Mm.
from CBD and cannabis than any other group. So the fact that there continues to be a stigma and there continues to be a banning of these items among so many of these departments is really a disservice that we're doing to these service people as well as to our own communities by prohibiting this because we're reducing their functionality, we're reducing their freedom, even though they're putting their lives on their lines for us every day.
Agreed.
And it's a real shame. So
It is.
yeah,
It absolutely floors me that our servicemen and women cannot use cannabis products at all. And even just CBD, even THC free CBD, they cannot use. They cannot even eat products that contain hemp seed. Did you know that?
yes, and actually to qualify that, it depends when we're talking about the firefighters, EMS, police, it actually depends on which department um as to who can and can't use CBD products. Currently, with rare exception from the research that I did, there are a few departments that allow THC outside of a very minimal
But
percentage.
we're talking about firefighters and police officers.
Correct.
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 Not military.
Correct. So with those service people, depending on the department, depending on the township, they may be able to use CBD, but there are more not allowing it than there are allowing it.
Correct.
And that's a real problem. The concern that people will show up for these jobs high, I think, is the only argument preventing this, and to me, that's a little ridiculous.
Because they can drink the night before and still be drunk the next morning when they wake up for their shift. So, yeah, it is ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. So, and these are individuals again serving us who have issues like sleep problems
Hmm.
that can be assisted with CBD.
And
Why do you?
the
Right.
stress of the job, I could not imagine. I couldn't do what they do. I have so much respect for our military, for our firefighters, for our police officers. I could not do their job. I could not.
Right.
And the stress that they see, the things that they witness, I mean, the PTSD I could imagine from these jobs. Yeah, our products could help them with that, and it absolutely floors me that many are not. They're absolutely not allowed to use them.
Right. Right. So I mean, just to back that up and to start light and go deep, sleep problems.
Mhm.
These workers typically work a non-standard shift, and non-standard shift means you might be working for 16, 18, 24, 28 hours straight,
Mhm.
and then have a 3 day off or 2 days off.
2 days on, 2 days off, 48 hours. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of these are crazy hours.
So if it would be it's unrealistic to think that someone working those type of shifts could maintain any kind of circadian rhythm
Mhm.
that would allow them to get healthy productive sleep.
And you need sleep. Your
Right.
body has to have sleep. I
Right.
mean, sleep is so important. It's next to breathing.
so s-
Sleep is important.
so we're talking about people that we're demanding extensive shifts for, where they
Mhm.
need to make critical life altering decisions. um, but we're not going to supply something natural that could help them with their sleep that will then in turn make them more productive and make it easier for them to make those critical decisions
Mhm.
in the field that could affect their lives,
And the
and
lives of
and
others.
the lives of others. Yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, to me, that is a true disservice. And I hope that some of the union reps are listening to this and taking it into consideration. Because when these contracts do come due,
Mhm.
it's always a discussion matter. Not that I'm involved in these talks because I'm not, but because I know so many of these first responders and
Mhm.
immediate responders. We discuss it, and pretty much every time it makes it all the way to the end, and then it gets the chop.
Mm.
Is pretty much the story. Um, so
I think there are some departments that pretty much do the don't ask, don't tell
yeah,
type.
yeah,
Only if you're involved in something crazy that you have to be drug tested for. Um,
yeah, but it shouldn't have to be
it,
that way.
it shouldn't have to be that way.
No,
No.
no,
If a product is federally legal and legal in your state as well, first responders, all of them should be able to use these products, period. There should be no issue about it. I mean, if they need a receipt as to where they bought the products, if they need a copy of the certificate of analysis showing that these products are below the 0.3%, I see nothing wrong with that. You
yeah.
should be able to use these products.
Well, and again, and that kind of circles back to us
Mm.
as members of the industry. There needs to be some standards.
Hmm.
We self-impose standards to ensure our quality and to ensure that if someone wants a THC free product, they're getting a THC free product, and they're getting the healthiest and best THC free product. Other CBD manufacturers and companies can't necessarily make that claim because they don't know what. And I think that is part of what perpetuates the fear is the inconsistency in the industry and the lack of regulation. Um, and is it legitimate? No, I don't think it's legitimate, but I think that it is enough to fuel the fire to get the admittance of CBD, or even one day THC on as an allowed substance, kicked every time because of the inconsistency. So we really need to, as a CBD and cannabis community, self-impose these regulations, hold ourselves and one another accountable, and the FDA needs to make some reasonable requirements and
Mm.
regulations. And that's probably where Dee Dee and I will disagree. But That's where it's
Because
at.
because the FDA is Food and Drug Administration. They should be separated. It should not be Food and Drug Administration. They should have a Food Administration and a Drug Administration and split those two. My personal opinion, because they allow some drugs in our food that causes harm and it drives me insane. So let's not even get on that topic. We're going to circle back
But
around.
is cannabis a food or a drug?
Neither. Neither.
What is it then?
It's a plant, man. It should be
So what's a
treated like
plant? So
broccoli.
what's a plant? So a broccoli's a food. That you asked me
You're
what
true.
broccoli
All
is.
right,
First
fine.
thing that jumps into my mind is disgusting, and I eat it every day. By the way.
It's
Second,
so good for you.
oh God. Second is it's food.
It
So
is. But yeah, natural food. That's what cannabis is too. No, actually, I think it's a dietary supplement depending on how you use it. And that is, even dietary supplements are not highly regulated by the FDA, which again is kind of an issue there too. Because God knows there's enough vitamins out there that are not vitamins, and you have to be careful what you buy there too. You don't want to waste your money. But
I love when vegans take B12 and they think they're still vegans.
let's not
Find out where your B12 is coming from, vegans.
Well, we are not going there today, Matt. Nope.
Cow's
Not
blood.
doing it. Not doing it. Moving past that. So anyway, we have a lot of police officers, family members, obviously, that use our products, and they ask all the time, will what I'm using affect my partner? And I'm like, no, not at all. Not at all. Like, I've had people wonder if it can be passed on to their partner from what they're using. I'm like, no, it does not work that way. It does not work that way. A lot of people,
That sounds like a VD.
right? Again, not going there either.
How's this going to affect me and my partner?
The question's been asked. I kid you not. I could have a whole series just on some of the craziest questions I've got asked in this field, but again, learning. But people, there should be absolutely nothing that prevents first responders or even military from using topical. Absolutely no reason at all. You will not get high from using a hemp or even a cannabis derived topical. And those things really do help. There's the things that they put their body through. Oh my gosh, a topical is not going to hurt them. It's definitely not going to keep them from making any decisions that they need to make. Topicals are a fantastic alternative to ones that can't absolutely take anything. And it's just a shame that they can't use some of these products that would actually help them feel better. Whatever. It kind of irritates me. One of my best friends is a lieutenant colonel in the military, in the Army, actually. And he will send me little snippets of whatever they're having their most recent class on. Of course, they had one on Delta 8 THC and how that is absolutely 100% not allowed. And then just recently, he sent me a little thing about how Monster Energy drink, I think, has a new product with hemp seed oil in it, and that is absolutely forbidden for them to use that as well, which I'm not a big fan of energy drinks. Those things are not good for you either. But still, to know that they can't even have food products that have hemp seed in them, that is uber healthy. Hemp seed is a superfood. It has omega-3s, omega-6s. You can't make claims to that either, but hemp seed is a superfood. And for them not to be able to use what I think Kind bars. They can't have any Kind bars because Kind bars have hemp seed in them. That's just ridiculous. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous and insane. And the powers that be, I really wish that cannabis in general, all forms of it, would be taken off the Schedule 1 DEA list, and they actually do some real research and some real studies, and it would be proven that these products actually can help people. That's my rant of the day, but for the military not to be able to use these products, especially even just topicals, just floors me. It just floors me. It's sad. I think it's very sad. And even in their written policy, it says we are aware that, hemp and how it's federally, the definition of it is legal, but not for you. Not for you, military people. Not for you.
Yeah. Included in the show notes, which I would encourage you to read, are the official statements of every DoD department, and every one of them is unique, but pretty much says the same thing. Like, yeah, we know it's legal, but hell
Mhm.
no.
Any forms, not
And
even just CBD,
and
even
that
without THC, no
right,
forms of it.
and that DoD regulation carries to any Department of Defense agent. So if you are a policing officer who is in DoD capacity, say a federal agent, or something of that nature, you fall into that category. Even if you're the department that you work under may allow it, you cannot. So that they are 100% locked tight, not allowing that. And that is super ironic to me because I know a lot of service people that use a lot of substances that are way worse for
Oh
you
my goodness, yeah.
in an attempt to self medicate
Mhm,
from a lot of different things, from the difficulty of the training regiment, depending on what the department is.
mhm.
I don't know if you've seen some of these Ranger training programs or SEAL Fit training
Of
programs.
course.
They are very intense. And that's just to get you ready, not to mention, the ops that you are going to endure and the hardships
Mhm.
that that's going to put on your body, as well as psychological trauma, and a whole slew of other issues that I'm not going to dive too deeply into. One, because I'm not a member of any of that of those departments in any capacity, and I'm not going to claim to be.
Mm-mm.
But I do have a lot of peers who are, and I watch their struggles, and it really affects me to see that. So
I hate it.
yeah, so
I
so
do. It
something needs
just
to be done there.
I I it bugs me so much because I would love to send my friend and his, unit some products of ours because I know it would help them, but I can't. I can't. He can't use any of it. I have one of my another really good friend is a police officer down in the Carolinas, and he cannot use our products, and it's a shame too because he needs them. They all need them. Everybody needs these products, obviously, but it's just a shame. Um,
Right.
It hopefully things change. I have definitely, been in talks with some of the local police stations and police forces, and I have definitely, tried. Be like, "Please just let me explain all this to you. Let's have a conversation." I think once things, I think more and more departments as far as police and firefighters go and first responders, most of them are starting to allow it. I think most of them realize that CBD is non-toxic and is actually extremely beneficial. And again, the more research that's done, the more that this is proven. So I think slowly but surely we will flip this, and all of them will be allowed to use it without fear of losing their job.
I agree, and I think that the bottom line is, uh, things are changing,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
is it is it is somewhat of a waiting game. But we do what we do to improve the daily life of as many people as we can, and I think that these are people making a huge self-sacrifice
Huge.
to try to ensure that we are allowed to live our best life and most fulfilling life and a life of joy at their sacrifice. So to deprive them of something that could enhance their daily life and also make them better at this job, what are we doing?
Right.
Why are we not allowing this?
Agreed.
I don't think that the argument of the potential psychoactive or lack of regulation really, if you were to put that on a scale, I don't think that it would even come close to balancing out. So we just have to wait until that people see the light and continue to spread the message. And that's why we do this podcast, to speak to you out there who are listening, to spread that message. And when you get the opportunity to let people know or give influence to someone who may be able to make a difference in these departments, I know that a lot of these contracts come to a vote.
Yep.
So you can certainly encourage influence on the votes when these contracts come for renewal. I think with the police and firefighters for LMPD, it's like every 2 years or something. I don't know the details of it, but I do know that, again, and I know it's a broken record, but one voice makes a difference. Other people will hear you. You just can't go with, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. Oh, well, sucks for them. If you believe in it, stand up for it. Speak your mind.
Exactly. So we appreciate you all listening in. As always, definitely leave comments. And just be open-minded. You have questions about these products, we are always here to help you. So thanks for listening again. Happy Hempsters, and have a fabulous day.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Hempin' Happiness with the Hemp Queen
and Emperor.
Keep your mind ever open and expanding. Like, subscribe, review, follow us, all the good stuff. And
keep it hempy out there.